Looks like I'm live. Hello, guys. I hope you are having an amazing day, whatever day it is, whatever time of the day it is with you. I'm just going to double check to make sure that I am live and not just talking to myself. So 2 seconds while I wait for it to come up on my phone. But if you're watching me live, thank you so much. Let me know what you've been up to today, where you are at with the challenge so far, where you're getting stuck, what you've really enjoyed, all of that kind of stuff, all the good stuff. So share with me how you are getting on, and I will see if my live training comes up. I can see Facebook tells me that I've got a like on this video, so it must be somewhere. Here we go, and I've got it on my phone. So let me just bring up all of the comments. So hey guys, hi Craig, hey Rosie, thank you so much for joining. So tell me how you're getting on so far. So Rosie is just joining the challenge now, a little bit, kind of a few days in, but she is going to be super good at catching up with the training videos. So just to do a quick recap for Rosie and for everybody else's benefit, so far we have talked about the Facebook profile funnel, why you need to set it up so you can get people from your profile to your page, to your group, to your lead magnet. We talked about working out who exactly it is that you are trying to target so that you can tailor your messaging, your offer, everything, all your content for that perfect person. Then we talked about how we can actually set up really, really attractive lead magnets, bait, to get in those ideal customers for you. And so you can literally like pop those ideas out on Facebook. So let me know in the comments what kind of ideas you came up with for things that might be really attractive to your ideal customer, and then we can have a little chat about that as well. Hi Anna, thanks for joining live. Also, we've got lots of people on live today. So today what I want to talk to you about is the first secret. There are like 3 secret S's that basically govern everything that happens on social media. And I want to share the first one with you. But let me take you back, first of all, to when I was at Funnel Hacking Live, a massive marketing conference over in the States, in Nashville, in February of this year. I was at Funnel Hacking Live, and after the 4 days of the event, I stayed on for a couple of days. It's a big travel for me over from the UK. And so I stayed for a couple of days to just kind of process everything and then have some time to myself. I shared recently on social media that I haven't actually had like a pure holiday in over 3 years. But I did take a couple of days at Funnel Hacking Live just to kind of go through everything. And one evening I was sat on this really, really pretty bench and it had one of those old-fashioned lamp kind of lights, which actually I've got in my village here where I live, because I live in this little medieval village. So I sat by one of these beautiful lampposts, a bit like Narnia, and there was a bench, and I sat there kind of almost hidden in the shrubbery. And where we were staying, there were lots of plants and trees everywhere. It's like this massive indoor complex that makes you feel like you're outside, but you're inside. It's a Gaylord hotel chain and I think they have them like all over the place in America, but in the UK we've got nothing like that. Like the closest thing we've got in the UK is Center Parcs, which you UK people will understand, but it's enclosed, but you don't feel like you're enclosed. But anyway, I digress. So I sat on this bench, and it's all the light from like outside was coming in, and then I noticed that the light was falling, and then the lamp was coming on, and then the lamps dimmed. So I was like, what's going on? And over across the way a little bit, there was this big fountain, and every day at 7 o'clock they had this big fountain show, and there was music and lights, and the lights would change, and there'd be flags of the world and all that kind of thing. But anyway, so I was watching the waterfall kind of fountain show, and I noticed something, and then I was like, I've seen this before. So all these people were stood on the steps going down to these waterfalls. And so these people are all stood on the steps, but they're not watching the fountain show directly. Every single person had their phone out, and they were recording and sharing and probably going live, or at least taking photos of what they were seeing. And literally what they're seeing is a fountain show. And then it hit me that literally, like, what most people do on social media is just share their lives, even if they're not doing it from a business perspective. When people are on there and just communicating with friends and family, then they're literally just sharing what's going on, so that all the people that they're connected with feel like they're in that person's world, so that those people feel like they're with that person. And so everybody's sharing what's going on with them. Everybody else who's kind of watching is vicariously living this person's life with them, even if they're miles, hundreds of miles, thousands of miles away. And it was an interesting moment for me, because most people, average people, not like me and you, but most people are using Facebook still the kind of old-fashioned original way, which is just to share moments of their lives. And so I realized then that the content that does the best on social media from a business point of view and business perspective is the content that looks like regular, everyday, just sharing. And it's not the really salesy posts, and it's not the perfect Instagram perfect pictures. I mean, like this, even this isn't straight or anything, but it's the stuff that's more real and natural, and the stuff you would naturally share during your day if you were just sharing to your friends and family. That's the stuff that does really, really well in terms of growing your audience, actually converting your audience into fans of yours and not just page likes, and then getting people to buy into you and then eventually sell them. So let's have a look at the comments of what's coming up today. Craig said he was naughty. He thought he was doing his homework today from memory. Looked up at a worksheet at 6 p.m. and realized I've been doing your own thing. That's okay. Don't worry. You know, you've got time. As I said, I'm going to build in some time for you guys to do have a catch-up day. On Sundays, definitely a catch-up day. So there is time, but the whole principle of a challenge is to challenge you. So I will be pushing you. So Rosie says one of her magnet ideas is about managing your time to fit stuff in, but you're rubbish at titles. So my suggestion there when it comes to titles is to try different things. So look at the headlines that work in the past. I'll put a resource. I can't think of the name of the website right now, but there is a website that's got amazing sales copyright type headlines that have like worked through the ages. So I'll put that in the unit about lead magnets in yesterday's unit, so that you can just go and have a look and then just test different things, because I found that the lead magnet, the hooks that work the best depend on which audience you're going for. So I put out a post a while back when I was actually trying to come up with the subtitle for this course for W Your Tribe about exploding your followers and skyrocketing your engagement. And I put 2 different variations in 2 different groups and like lots of groups, just to see how the feedback came. And interestingly, the feedback that I got from real estate property related, because that's like my part of my audience, the feedback that I got from them was they wanted a definite ROI, what's like, how much money am I going to make, all that kind of thing. And then the feedback from in my Amy Porterfield group that I'm in with her paid course creators, the feedback there was much more softly. I want to get more engagement. I want to build deeper relationships with my audience, with my students. And so it was really interesting that 2 different kinds of people, one were just after how much money am I going to make, and the other was what kind of relationship am I going to build with people. That was their focus. And even though their end goal was the same for these people. So just try different things. So Rosie says, great, thanks. Awesome. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm just trying to bring them all up. The problem with having comments on your phone is that obviously it clips them down, so I have to expand them out, and you'll get used to this once you start doing live video. And we're going to have a training session on doing live video, and I'm going to share with you my best selling, shall we say, my best I can't think of the word, but like I've got a video engagement cheat sheet, and the feedback is just amazing on it. So I'm going to obviously share that with you guys and go into more detail about the tips that I give in there and why I give them. But as you start doing live video, the best way to get engagement is to ask people to ask questions, to comment, to read people's comments out, and to reply to them. Because again, it's the whole principle of sharing that when you make people feel involved by sharing with them and then getting them to share back, when people feel involved, they buy in more. I mean, it's all relationships. That's all social media is building relationships with people. So you just kind of, Rosie says that she's rubbish at sharing her life on social media. And I always think that it needs to be more interesting than that. But it doesn't. Like, at the end of the day, you have got some friends somewhere. I haven't come across anyone yet on social media who hasn't got any friends in real life. And therefore, if people in real life find you interesting when you're just talking to them over coffee, if you go out for coffee or lunch or brunch or whatever you do to hang out with your friends, then if people have conversations with you and find you interesting, then people online are going to find you interesting and find those same things interesting. So you just have to realize that when you're sharing on social media, then yes, you want there to be some value for your audience. Absolutely. But value can come in loads of different ways. You've got the direct value of here's some knowledge. Here's what I'm sharing with you. I've just noticed that the light is going, it's becoming dusk here, and then I'm all going a bit fuzzy. So sorry if the light's not great at the moment, and I'm a bit out of focus. But anyway, so, there's the direct value of knowledge. You've got value in terms of like helping people feel heard. So asking questions and things of people, that's really important. Entertainment is value. Think how much time most average people spend just watching TV, or how much money gets spent on people going to the cinema, or going out clubbing. It's just entertainment. So being entertaining is enough. You don't always have to share knowledge and learning and that kind of thing. If you can tie the two in together, then you're winning on both fronts. But entertainment is still value. So it doesn't just have to be something really, here's what I learned and here's what I can teach you. You need to start building relationships with your audience. And the way that you do that is showing that you're a real person, sharing what's going on in your life. Your lifestyle can become, it's aspirational for a lot of people. Like I share photos of me taking my son to the zoo and stuff like that, because actually the fact that I can do that during the day, during the working day, is amazing for most people. I was at the gym this morning. Again, I can go to the gym whenever I want. Like that's insane. Like literally, like you can live your perfect life already. And I was at the gym this morning and I was listening to these two ladies, and I've seen them before. And one of them's got a daughter that's the same age as my son. And they were talking about schools, because very recently the state schools, I think are they called public schools in the US? I'm not sure. The schools that like everybody goes to, as opposed to private schools over here, which is the ones that we pay for. So the state schools have released places for children, and these guys were talking about their places that they'd got for their children, but it's kind of not that they'd got, but they'd been given, because you just kind of get served like a first come first served. Whoever lives nearest the school gets a place. And one of them was saying that she was going to really struggle with after school care, because she worked wherever. I mean, she was at the gym at 10 a.m. in the morning, so she's always got some kind of interesting job, but she said that some nights she'd be working till 9 p.m. in the evening. And I just thought, and it's not for me to judge, but like I would rather spend time with my son and see him and give him dinner and be with him in the evenings and during the day and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to have to do a job that means that I'm away from my family until 9 p.m. in the evening. Like that's not the life for me. And that's okay for other people, but that's not the life for me. So when you share just the normal things that you do in your life, you have to remember that someone out there is dreaming of having the life that you have. No matter where you already are, someone out there is dreaming of having your life. So if you share that life, then they will realize that they can do it too. And they'll feel connected to you and more bonded with you. So hopefully like that helps you get past the, I don't know what to share. I feel a bit weird sharing my personal life. Like, yes, you don't want to share everything. You don't want to share your arguments with your husband over who's doing the washing up or something like that. Or maybe you do. Like, it depends what your, what your niche is. Like, if you're in relationships, then maybe you would share that. And if you're a relationship coach, which I know a really amazing one who did $1 million in an event recently, she's nuts. But she would share that her and her husband were almost like on the verge of divorce. He told her he was leaving her, and she realized she had to change. Like, she had to accept him for who he was. And so she shares the tough times that they had, because obviously that helps other people realize that she's been through it and she got past it, and then she can show other people how to do that. So look at what's happening in your life and how that can relate to how you could attract your ideal customer. And this is why your ideal customer is so important. So go back and do that if you haven't done it already. So let's go back to the comments. So Craig's put up through a landing page on ClickFunnels. Yes. With your Fave Tools document as a PDF. That's amazing. Amazing on taking such super fast action. Most people don't even get to doing the free opt-in landing page. I promised you guys that I was going to post the Amy Porterfield and Russell Brunson style templates, and I haven't. So I will make sure that I do that this evening, just in case you haven't got an email template in place, or you haven't got an opt-in that's working really, really well. You can just model those, and they're not necessarily like they work really well for me. I get them in very good opt-in rates. One, they're simple. They're very, very simple pages. Two, I've worked on figuring out what lead magnets work well for my audience, but you can just put them up and then test them. It's really, really simple. So we'll do that. And yes, Craig's been working on the PDF, so there's something to send out. That's amazing. Brilliant. And I would always suggest don't send out the document as an attachment to the email. Most email service providers don't necessarily let you do this anyway, but have it as a link that people click in the email to get access to it, because if you send it as an attachment, then lots of service providers flag that as spam. So just have a link. But the other thing to remember as well is that most people won't open. So what you need to do is send follow-up emails to get people to consume your content. And I've got like 4 emails in my follow-up sequence for my video engagement thing that literally like, have you looked at it yet? Have you looked at it yet? Have you looked at it yet? And like, have you looked at it? Here's so-and-so that looked at it and this is what they achieved. Here's so-and-so that looked at it and this is what they said. Here's a weird story about what happened for me. This is why you need to go and look at it. So you have to resell people on why, like they've opted in. But if you want them to have a real success, then they need to actually get value from the thing, which means you need to get them to open it. So get on the emails, the follow-up emails. So Rosie says, that's great. I always think I need to be sharing knowledge all the time. Yeah, lots of people do. And I've noticed that there are gurus out there who say that you need to give like knowledge all of the time. And you don't, because otherwise Netflix wouldn't exist. There are various forms of value, and and again, it depends on the kind of person that you're trying to attract. If you are in IT, I've got a student who's helps tech startup businesses, and she said that her audience tend to be a bit more serious. So like just funny stories probably wouldn't resonate with them so well. They probably need a bit more information. They might need some more logical type stories and like facts, numbers, figures. But again, this is why it's important to know your audience, because then you can figure out how much of each you need to give. Let's talk some ratios. Like I tend to, if I was putting out 10 pieces of content, there might be 1 or 2 that was like almost purely personal life and aspirational lifestyle. I would probably do 5 really like learning info heavy. This is what you can do. This is how you can do it. And then I might do like 1 newsjacking story. So where there's something going on in your niche, in your industry news or the worldwide news or wherever, basically jumping on that piece of news and then putting your spin on it, your opinion. But I probably wouldn't do more than 1 or like really at most 2 out of 10 for that, because people, while they might want your opinion, well, do they want it? I don't know. But while they might listen to your opinion, you can very quickly just attract people who are only like want to gossip and that kind of thing. So I would tend to do lots of value, some entertainment, some pure entertainment newsjacking, and then kind of try and just mix it up, see what happens for you. Greg's put washing up wars. Awesome. So Rosie, first of all, Anna says that she agrees. Rosie says, I've never even thought that going to the zoo on a Wednesday was an aspirational for some people. Yes, it is. Think about it. Most people put their children in childcare from like the age of 6 months old, but they don't want to, because when you hear all of the women talking, all of the mums talking about it, they all say, oh, I don't want to go back to work. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, I only have to, I have to work 5 days. So I have to drop them off, and they don't want to be doing it. So therefore, if you're not doing it, then that is a good thing for some people. So, I mean, there's always a way you can spin everything that happens in your life. Craig has put, yes, it's a great thought. There will be people out there who just wish they could do that. Absolutely. And same for everything, with everything that goes on in your life. So just get sharing and see what hits, see what sticks. That's the thing about organic social media, is you can see what works, what you get people actually engaging with, commenting on. Try and ask some questions in your posts, in your videos, so that people then comment back. But just see what works. And then further down the line, once you've figured out what are the things that are resonating with people, those are the things that you can turn into lead magnets, that you can put money behind and actually put ads to, when you already know what works. So you're not wasting money on ads, wasting money or wasting time building up lead magnets that nobody cares about. Craig says, thanks for the pointer about the PDF deliverability, Samantha. Very useful. Yes, you're going to make it into downloadable once the email address is submitted in that case, in addition to doing what you suggested. Yeah, like absolutely. Like, so you could have two things. Like you could have it on the thank you page of the opt-in. So you might have like your opt-in page with just like the email box into your email, and then on the thank you page. But what they really like to use thank you pages for is, and if you might notice, most people literally just have a thank you, you're in, thank you, you'll check your email. But what I like to do is actually have your thank you page, if it's not like a full funnel that you're selling them something afterwards, is have that thank you page as click here to find out more, like to get more hands-on, this is my literally the words I say, like to get more hands-on help with XYZ, come and join my Facebook group. And that works really, really well. Some bigger influencers that I've suggested that to, they've implemented it, and their group growth just explodes, because a lot of people who have downloaded your email then want to find out more about you. So when they want, then go, oh, let's go join your group. That's brilliant. Or if you don't have a group, then say, you know, if you want some more hands-on help, reach out to me. Have it as a messenger, a Facebook Messenger button, so that they can then send you a messenger thing, or get them to just come and watch some videos on your page or YouTube, or like just something, so that, because they want some more information from you, otherwise they wouldn't have given you their email. So just give them a way of finding more of you, of connecting with you some more. I think it's such a shame that on, and especially even on like lead pages and all of the rest of them that aren't ClickFunnels, the fact that their bog standard thank you page is literally just a page. And like, I've checked so many influencers for this. Amy Porterfield, Jasmine Starr, Rick Mulready, James Wedmore, they like, even in the ClickFunnels world, the millionaires in the ClickFunnels world, most of them have just a blank thank you page, which does nothing, because you're there and you're like, oh, okay, I'll go off somewhere else then. So use that thank you page, and you'll see the button on the templates that I give you, so you can model that. Awesome. Okay, so if that is all on the comments, then I shall leave you there this evening. So the key takeaway here is that you need to share. You need to just embrace sharing what is going on in your life. Other people do it normally when they're not trying to be businessy. We naturally share. You know, I sat next to a couple in a restaurant, or kind of like a nice cafe that I went to, that I really love having brunch in. And I watched the guy who was taking photos of his food, and he spent so long taking photos to post on Instagram or whatever, that the woman had finished her breakfast. But like, that's just what we do. We take photos. I even did it today. I was sat down at my gym afterwards, and I took a photo of my omelette with my chicken and broccoli in it, and then I took another photo with the tennis court in the background, because I was outside. But you know, it's just naturally what we do. We know we take photos to remind ourselves of the things that are happening, and then to share those photos with other people. So just get out there, start sharing, tag me in any post. If you want to start, like if you're posting on your Facebook and you want to build up some momentum, then, you know, tag me in the comments, and I'll you know, say something or whatever. So, you know, you use this group to try and build up some momentum, and then put your ideas in the group. If you especially got your ideas for your lead magnets, for your ideal client avatar, all that kind of stuff. If you get stuck, post in the group. Now I've turned on posting, you can post. So yes, let's have a quick thing to... Craig says he likes to come join my group as a thank you page. Yes, it works really, really, really well. Like, I get probably 50 to 60, I think it's 50, I can't remember if it's 50 or 60% of people who opt in for my freebie, then request to join my group. It's amazing. And it's also, so when I do run ads to my freebie, then, and I'm getting like 30 cents per opt-in, that means I'm getting also like people, so like 60 cents for someone to join my group as well, but I'm also getting their email. So it's awesome thing to do. And people don't do it. Rosie says, how often do you think you should post on stories? If we're talking about Instagram and Facebook stories, ideally all the time, like literally like snippets all the time, because you can definitely be way more uncut, raw, just snapping things in stories because they disappear. And that's what everybody expects. But you have to get into the habit of doing it. And that's where people sometimes kind of feel like they have to put more effort into it. And just don't, just post stuff because it disappears. So the worst case scenario is nobody likes it. People click off and go to the next person. Well, it disappears. So don't worry about it. So just definitely test in there. Stories are great for asking questions of your audience. So if you've got some ideas about lead magnets, put that as a question in your story and you will find people answer. So I put up a question recently about, would you listen to my podcast if I did one? And most people said yes, and a few people said no. And so I actually reached out to those people and said, hey, I'm just curious, why did you say no? I'd love to know why. And most of them said that they'd clicked the wrong button because they were just trying to tap to the next screen, which is great. But like it started conversations with people. And also on definitely on Instagram stories now. I'm not sure about Facebook stories. You can do quizzes, so you can now ask questions and give people answers. So it's a really great way. Like to say, okay, so I'm thinking of doing a lead magnet about blah, blah, blah. Or I probably wouldn't say lead magnet, like a value piece of content about 3 different things. Which one would you want to hear about first? I know a very a Amazon #1 best-selling author in the UK does this with deciding what book he's going to write next. So he has a massive list of ideas and he puts it to his audience. Which one would you want to hear about? Which one would you want to buy next? And if they say a different answer to what he wants to write, he'll still do what his audience want, because obviously at the end of the day, he just wants to sell the books. So that's a really good idea. Craig says, fab, thanks for your support, Samantha. Great session again. Awesome. I shall screenshot this. You guys, if you are enjoying this, let me know. Because obviously, and this is another thing that I can teach you a little bit further down the line, getting testimonials, especially Facebook testimonials, they are the most highest converting testimonials you will get are Facebook screen grabs. So always get feedback from your audience, from your customers, get them to post on Facebook. If they do it organically, amazing, but don't be afraid to ask. So let me know what you guys are thinking so far of the training, how you're getting on with the challenge. Go and have an amazing day. Go catch up if you're not already caught up on everything. I will post the links to my Amy Porterfield, Russell Brunson style lead magnet templates. Go and implement, even if you've got them running already with your lead magnets, go and implement the join my group thank you page, because it is like you literally, it's almost like throwing away money if you're not doing it. So go and do that and have an amazing day, and I shall see you guys all very soon. Well, tomorrow. See ya.